Alright everyone, and this is a big day in the history of Dokkan, alright? LR Krillin has finally made his way to the global version of the game, and I want to show off something that I thought never would happen in Dokkan, and that's the Earthling category team. Now, this is going to be a very long video because it's going to be me kind of going over LR Krillin as a card, as well as me talking about his overall team. Now I'm bringing a SA20 friend because my LR Crillon is SA10, and no, I'm not using Kai's into him. I want to save at least some content for me to do in the game for the future at least. So just to know, LR Crillon gives 4 key and 150% to the Earthling category, which is a really good leader skill. The bad part is the Earthling category is not that good. For free-to-play players, it's okay. This is my personal favorite Earthling category team, and I bet you're saying, hey, everyone's rainbowed except for that one Videl on the right. And you're correct. I'm not rainbowing that physical Videl. It's not worth it. But I'm going to go ahead and explain all the units on my team. Let's hop in here. So first off, let's talk about the leader himself, LR Crillon. Now, LR Crillon himself is a god tier card. You see here we have 500,000 HP. Considering we have a bunch of rainbow LRs on the team, as well as the leader skill of the Earthlings, 4 key, 150% is great. 4 key for Krillin, already puts him at 8 key, and when he's facing against one enemy, he'll then have an additional 6 key. So you do the math there, I believe that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 14 key, which is great already. So that's good. One of the common things though that I find with this team is that a lot of these LRs don't get their buffs until after they attack. For example, Yamcha doesn't get defense until he super attacks, and Tien doesn't get his defense until he has a certain amount of key on his key meter, which I believe is calculated when he attacks. So LR Krillin being in the first slot of each rotation is kind of optimal and kind of needed. Same with Oob. Oob needs to be in that first slot as well because he gets his defense at the start of turn. So Krillin's leader skill is great for the Earthling category and for all the LRs who need key. We're going to go ahead and run with we're going to throw Oob off. We're going to rock with our Krillin here. This will be the first attack stat we get for Krillin. Overall, this team isn't actually that bad. A lot of people were saying that the Earthling category is very bad. I do think it is bad. It's very limited. 1.35, not bad there for Krillin. I do think they should have added some Goku and Gohan units, people like that, right? But they didn't. So that is unfortunate. However, Krillin, Yamcha, Tien, and Oob, as well as Videl, are characters that should be able to carry this category, and they kind of do and kind of don't. So Krillin's leader skill is already great. Krillin has a tremendously good modifiers for his super attack. So his 12 key super is a key attack, which is called Scattering Energy Wave, and it raises attack and causes colossal damage to all enemies with a medium chance of stunning them. Okay, that's already good, right? He infinitely stacks attack constantly, as well as AoEing, right? 1.81 from Yamcha. This is why Yamcha is still very good. That and Videl was buffing him there, which is always good too. Yamcha, and he's getting the additional super. Who thought LR Yamcha would be this good? Now, Krillin's 18 key super is called the Destructo Disc, of course, and that raises attack and defense and causes mega colossal damage to enemies. This is the big one right here. Alright? Every super attack he gets, he'll stack attack no matter what. But when he gets his 18 key super, he infinitely stacks his defense, which will make him optimal for the Legendary Goku event, which I will dive into when I get into his passive there. So an AoE on his 12 key and a non-AoE physical attack on his 18 key. Makes him very versatile there. 1.1 from LR, Tien, and Chaozu. I wish this card was better. I think Tien definitely deserves an LR quality card. And I think we deserve a really good Tri-Beam animation that we haven't quite gotten yet. Anyway, let's jump into LR Krillin's lengthy passive. So LR Krillin starts with 3 key and 30,000 defense at the start of turn. Simple, easy, he gets that at the start of turn unconditionally. That's good, right? You always love those start of turn buffs, of course. And then he gets attack plus 20,000 when performing a super attack, plus an additional attack 20,000 if it is an ultra super attack. So we're seeing LR Crillon consistently get a million here because he doesn't have that bad of attack, and when he gets an ultra super attack, he gets an additional attack buff, and attack buffs on super attack are of course greater than attack buffs on non-super attack. I did give my Krillin max additional because you want him to additional that 12 key super because he will be most optimal for the world tournament. And that's what I'm going to talk about here in a second. So LR Crillon in his own right is pretty good on just attacking along with key and defense. He gets a nice attack and defense buff. He gets attack buff on super attack and then a defense buff at start of turn, which is pretty much optimal for what you are running in just normal events, along with 3 key, which for LRs is always accepted. So this is where you start to see LR Crillon designed for different game modes here. Now this is where you start to see LR Crillon designed for different game modes, alright? Because he gets plus an additional key 3 when facing 1 enemy. Now this is where I said he's designed for the LR Goku event, and pretty much all Dokkan events. Battlefield, I'm sure he's pretty good, because he gets 3 key at the start of turn, and when he's facing 1 enemy, he'll get 6 key. So when you combine that with his Earthling's category of 4 key, that's 4 plus 6, that's 7 key he's getting. Oh, sorry, I'm so dumb. You combine that with 6 key he gets from his passive, and the 8 key he gets from the leader skill if you run double LR Crillon, and you're rocking at 14 key to start. Pretty good if you ask me, not counting link skills, considering he has Shattering the Limit as a link skill as well. They didn't give him shocking speed, we'll get to the links later. So combine that with a good attack and defense buff, he infinitely raises attack and defense. You can see when he's facing 1 enemy, they designed him so they know you're not trying to get the AoE against 1 enemy, so they're giving you a good amount of key so you can pull off that 18 key super when you're facing 1 enemy, which will then infinitely stack his attack and defense. And that's why I think he's really good, because you get to the second part of his passive, which is attack plus 10,000 at the start of turn per existing enemy when facing 2 or more enemies. The count starts from the second enemy. So when he's facing multiple enemies past 1, he gets an additional attack buff of 10,000 per enemy on the field. Not to mention, he launches an additional super attack when facing 6 or more enemies. This is pretty much just guaranteed for the World Tournament. This is where Krillin is going to be the best. When you have 6 enemies on the field, he gets an additional, I believe it'd be 50,000 attack, and an additional super attack. Now the bad part is he doesn't get the additional key, but with his 3 key at the start of turn on his normal passive, on like for example the full power team, or you would probably run him in the World Tournament, he's already starting off at 9 key, and you're trying to pull off the 12. So this game, I think they designed LR Crillon quite actually very, very well, because you can run him in the World Tournament and get that 12 key easily without overflowing and getting the 18 key, but also not struggling to get the 12 key all the time. As well as in additional game modes, they made it very easy for you to pull off the 18 key, because they know full well that that will do more damage, and that's what you want against 1 enemy. So I believe LR Crillon is a very well designed card, because he does a lot. He's great for the World Tournament. He's a solid defensive guy. 18 key is great. He infinitely stacks, which makes him ideal for longer game modes. I think he's a really, really good card. You get to his link skills. He has Z Fighters, Turtle School, Courage, Best Buddies, Rival Duo, Shattering the Limit, and Legendary Power. Now, normally these links would not be good for any team, especially the full power team. You're going to run him for the World Tournament. Yes, probably. Shattering the Limit and Legendary Power are probably the only links you can get on the full power team, because you're going to be running a lot of it to optimally get LR Broly, that super attack. I also keep forgetting, but in the World Tournament you don't get your second leader skill, so you would only have 3 key plus his 6, so he would only start out at 6 key in the World Tournament, which is still good, of course. It would just be kind of hard to, get that 12 key or 12 key super +4, which it's possible to not get it. If you have someone with Shattering the Limit, you can get it quite easily. But anyway, these links are not great for the World Tournament. But you take a look at the Earthling team, the Z Fighters link is very much quite present in LRTN. So that's 15% attack right there. And I'm talking about the team that I'm running personally. Turtle School you won't really find. It's only a 500 attack and defense link. It's not great. Courage, key +1. You'll get it with the STR Videl. I believe that is pretty much it. Yes, so that's the only link you'll get. That's fine. An additional 1 key on the Earthling team. Sure. Best Buddies, another 1 key. Worthless link, honestly. Rival Duo, attack 10%. Attack defense is attacked enemies defense minus 15%. Rival Duo is actually very much present on this team. I believe Rival Duo, another one. I swear Rival Duo was shared on this team. Never mind. Rival Duo. Oh, sorry. Rival Duo is on LR Yamcha. Sorry, LR Yamcha is who has Rival Duo. I should have gotten the 12 key here to showcase Krillin's AoE, but that is okay. We'll definitely showcase that in an upcoming World Tournament, possibly. Take a look here. Shattering the Limit and Legendary Power is shared by all 3 of the LRs, as well as, not Oob though, as well as the STR Videl. And then, overall, Krillin's categories are Full Power and Earthlings. Earthlings is his own category, of course. Full Power is a good category for him to have, because that means he can get to a 170 attack team and be run on an optimal team for the World Tournament. His stats are pretty good. 22,000 health, 18,940 attack. I believe is quite good for a free-to-play LR. Having him at SA 20 is obviously optimal. This card is just, I think, so good. And we're going to test out Crillon here on his AoE attack with the friend who has the 20 SA 20. So overall, Crillon is a really good card. He's designed very well to be 18 key heavy against one enemy Dokkan events and against multiple enemies. He's designed to get his AoE. So 1 million on his 12 key. He's getting a buff from multiple attackers here. And we'll see how well he does. So he hits them, and he has a chance to stun. I did not say that. He raises attack and causes colossal damage to enemies with a medium chance of stunning them as well on his 12 keys. So he can stun if need be, which is just another, tool to his very, very big toolkit. That's why I love LR Crillon so much. But let's go ahead and take a shift now to the team as a whole. The Earthling team, a lot of people say, is quite limited, but I think it actually is quite good for multiple reasons. One, LR Crillon on this team is not actually that bad. He's actually pretty solid. I don't believe he can reach 2 million on this team, but it's possible for you to get 2 million with LR Crillon's attack stat. Another one, LR Oob, still a god. LR Oob is still an absolute god. Borderline, he's right there with Crillon to be pretty much the best unit on this team. I know he's technically not free to play. He technically is. Most of you should have one copy of him if you by now. So just putting him on the team would make this team infinitely better. I just rainbowed mine because I knew he would be ideal. LR Oob is just so versatile. He's on so many categories. He's so good with that key, that attack and defense, the transformation, the lowering of attack. He's pretty much needed for this team, honestly. And another big sneaky thing about this team that I was going to mention before is that they link quite well together. I did tell you that Legendary Power is shared by all the LRs, which would give you 4 on the team. Shattering the Limit is shared by pretty much every card on this team except for Oob and the Great Saiyawoman 2. So Shattering the Limit and Legendary Power are shared by 3 cards on this team, which would be all the free-to-play LRs and Krillin, TN, and Yamcha. as well as you would share with Oob. But another big thing is that Infighter, the Infighter link is shared. Yamcha has it. Oob has it. Videl has it. And Great Saiyan Woman 2 has it. So that's literally 4 out of your 6 cards on the team who share a 10% attack link in Infighter, as well as both Videl sharing Battlefield Diva, as well as a lot of Shattering the Limits. They share Z Fighters together, Legendary Power. This team links surprisingly decently well together, and that's solid. A team that can link well together and have good synergy will probably, work decently well, and that's why I think this Earthling team is solid. So we're going to close out Krillin because we've already talked about him. So why did I bring LR Yamcha on the team? Well, to be quite honest, LR Yamcha, still a decent free-to-play unit. Unfortunately, he has to attack to be decent. You have to get the Ultra Super to get his maximum defensive stat. He doesn't do a lot on his super attack modifiers, but his link set is decent. Infighter and Rival Duo you'll get pretty easily, along with Shattering the Limit, Legendary Power. The Guidance of the Dragon Balls links you won't be able to get, and if there's a Peppy Gal's enemy, you're screwed. But overall, Yamcha is still a good card, still an ideal LR, easily the best Yamcha on the team. Technically, even though this is Yamcha and Puar, you could bring another Yamcha on the team, which we do need a new Yamcha. That would really buff this team. LR Tien and Chaozu, they've really not been the unit. They've really aged quite horribly, actually. They're not that good as they used to be, which is okay. They're still decent with attack and defense buff, but they need to have their a certain amount of ki, which needs to be 14 or more, and they don't get any ki at the start of turn. So linking them up with Crillon is decently good because of the 2 ki in the Legendary Power link. Along with, I believe, they have Z Fighters, which is 15% attack. They don't have Shocking Speed together, which they should. That's criminal. Crillon should have Shocking Speed instead of Best Buddies, but that's fine. Pretty much Tien is going to be your stunner. That's pretty much all he's going to be. He's going to be your stunner with a decent attack and defense buff, and pretty much a link buddy. He's the best Tien and Chaozu on the team. Of course, there's only one Tien and Chaozu, but we do need a new Tien as well. The 50% support buff Tien is on this team. You could use him to basically give LR Oob, basically make LR Oob the best card on the team, as well as make his own unit good. So I don't have the 50% support Tien, but I'm kind of running a free-to-play showcase of this team. And if you want to run that Tien as a summonable unit on this team, by all means, he would fit. LR Oob, I've already said everything about him. He's the best card on the team, borderline, with LR Krillin. You need to bring him. Alright, he's the best Oob in the game. Transforms to Majub. He's pretty much a god. Alright, that's all there is to say about Oob on this team. He's a beast, and especially when he gets that 4 ki from the leader skill, he can get up to 6 ki as well. Along with, he doesn't have any ki links, but he doesn't need any because of that 6 ki plus the 8 from the freaking leader skill. 1.3 there from Crillon. He's been solid this game, or this fight. He's a consistent damager. He's been decent on tanking. He links well. He gets ki. Crillon, you're seeing a good showcase here at Crillon. Now here's where we get to the bit more of your personal opinion units of the team. Now the one thing about the Earthling category I will admit is trash is that this team has little to no support on it whatsoever. And what I mean by that is that I'm going to try to see if I can transform with Oob here. Hopefully we don't die. What I mean by that is that LR Oob, sorry, not LR Oob, the Earthling category has almost no support units. And free-to-play cards aren't usually given like universal support passives. Most of the time a free-to-play support card will be for a specific category. Since the Earthling team is so new, it's going to be very difficult to get an Earthling support, but that's where this Videl comes in super clutch. I rainbowed her because she's pretty damn good, I'd say. Her supreme damage, great lowers defense, fodder, but this passive right here for Videl, Plus 1 key and attack defense 20% per movie heroes category ally on the team. Up to 3 key and 60% attack and defense. Yeah, fine, right? That's all fodder. For now, anyway. Do keep that one in mind. We're going to get the Dokkan mode here with Krillin, which is going to heal us, technically. I did want to transform with Oob, but we'll see here. I'll go ahead and get the Dokkan mode, and then I'll talk more about Videl. This video is going on long. It's going to be at least 30 minutes, I think, but we'll finish up the 17th event, and that's as far as we'll go. But Videl's great chance of all allies getting 30% attack and defense is pretty much where she is put on the team. She has Infighter, which is a good link for the entire team. She has Courage, she has Battlefield Diva, and she has Shattering the Limit. Links that will work very well with everyone on the team, as well as that great chance of 30% attack and defense. Now, that leaves one spot left on the team where most people are like, hey, I don't know who to put there. And to be honest here, I didn't know either, because having one support unit on the team, I don't think is very optimal. You see here, Oob did not get his transformation, I should say. And that's unfortunate, but we'll go ahead and keep running here. That's where I bring in this physical Great Saiyaman 2. Alright, now she is a decent support unit because she gets defense of 60% at the start of turn, and then super class allies get 40% defense as well. Most of the Earthling category are good guys. I'd say all of them are, except for a bit maybe like Yamu and Spopovich, who are good cards. Yamu and Spopovich could be on this team. I just didn't put them on because they have little to no links with anybody on the squad. So she gives everyone a nice defensive buff at the start of turn, as well as her own. She's own pretty good defense. She lowers attack like Oob, so she gets, you know, there could be some nice potential there, I'd say, by lowering attack, as well as giving everyone a defensive support on the opening rotation, or on her rotation. But really, I think where she strives is the fact that she has Infighter as well, and then she has Battlefield Diva with Videl. So if you're keeping Videl on rotation, she'll link up with Videl quite well, give her key, as well as giving everyone else Infighter, which is a common link on the team. And another thing, she has the movie heroes category, which will give Videl another ally, which will give her 2 key and 40%. That'll give her an additional attack and defense buff. Because she already gets 1 key and 20% because she counts as her own category ally. And then we'll get an additional Videl, which will then give her 2 key and 40% attack and defense. So that'll buff the support Videl, who is already the best support unit on this team, as well as give Videl, the physical Great Saiyawoman 2, her own buff. That's why she exists on the team. Now, I did say we would stop at the 17th event, but I want to discuss something real quick here, and that's what do I believe the Earthling category needs to thrive. I think the Earthling category is quite good. For free-to-play players, it's pretty solid. However, if it gets a Super Battle Road stage, it's going to be extremely easy because this category is very, very weak. LR Crillon pretty much carries this team along with LR Oob. However, if you don't have LR Oob, or if you don't have significant dupes into LR Oob because of all the other LRs in Battlefield, then this team could be very bad for you. Alright, getting LR Crillon to SA20 and Rainbowed is pretty much what you need so he can carry the team. Support is very bad for this team. However, link skills and key is surprisingly good because of, Krillon's leader skill. So Krillon's leader skill and himself as a card carries this team if you don't have Oob. But if you have Oob, this team functions quite surprisingly well. Tien and Chaozu and Yamcha and Puar need easy A's because their cards are outdated and borderline. I don't want to say borderline useless, but you know what I mean, right? Like, they're borderline, not good. We do need a new, better Yamcha card. We do need a new, better Tien card. The 50% support Tien is great for this team if you have him. Put him on if you need to. Other than that, this team needs better support units. They need good supports. People who support the Earthling category themselves. Stuff like that. So if we get a new Yamcha and a better support for this team, maybe like a Chaozu or a Yamcha in that respect, then we would be able to get something like that. Bulma is on this team. There are Bulmas on this team, but most Bulmas, I'd say the best Bulmas, depend on Kid Goku being there, and there's no Gokus that I know of on this category. I can check in a second. So overall, that will be it for the Earthling category team showcase. LR Oob did not get his transformation. We didn't get his transformation at all in this video, but that is, okay. LR Crillon is a boss. His team overall, pretty solid. Maybe I will rainbow this Great Saiyan Woman too.